Zachariah. What can I do for you?
You told me you learned where Scott was from mutants. You mind if I talk to them? Like to find out exactly what they saw.
Have suspicions about your friend, Zachariah? Sorry. None of my business, really. You can find them in Mutant Valley. They only passed through here to pass on some information to me, including the little tidbit about your friend.
Thanks. I'm gonna go find him.
You seem to be lost in thought, buddy. Is it about what happened in the desert?
Yeah, something's just not right about the story.
I'd agree with you, but hell, you know him better than I do. Maybe it's just because of his nuttiness, or I don't know. Who knows?
Valley, here we come.
Someone sounds excited.
Well, duh, the landscape's drop-dead gorgeous. As for the city, integrating with the valley's natural overhangs and alcoves to avoid using a metal dome, you're a genius. Makes me worry about getting fried. And we'll always be strangers there.
For now, most mutants don't have an innate hatred for humans. We just need to give them time to heal.
Still, we'll never be able to walk a mile in their shoes. And for that, we'll always be outsiders. I ain't mad, though. If I were them, it'd be my personal mission to fuck up every single humanoid who said good day to me.
Right now, we must focus on uniting our nation. I understand you find it difficult to feel at home, but know that you are a friend, and that as long as I live here, you will be welcome. And when our people are finally free, I know many of my brothers and sisters will welcome you too.
Don't stress out about the roof. You won't be instantly mutated. I have heard tales. But yeah, what a beautiful place. Natural, organic, how refreshing. Humans should take notes.
This city makes me sad.
You're not gonna cry, are ya? I just had these seats cleaned.
I mean, I think I would have liked to, know before of its existence. It's all right. Sad is too grandiose. Wistful, yes, wistful. By Jove, I've done it.
Praise to the Shadow. You are here. I was getting worried about you.
What's going on, scum?
Kane is moving to take power. He came with dozens of followers, killed many who stood in his way, threatened to do the same to countless more. As for you and I, Phobos, I promise that he has already planned our deaths.
Zachariah, it is not my life I worry for. He will kill any and all who stand against him. He will wipe out human cities, destroying those with little more than sticks and rocks to defend themselves. Blood will drench this planet.
And I'm sure all our names are probably topping the list. And we better make a move before it's too late.
One of my ostriches is limping. I think she's hurt.
Have you tried applying the lichen bandage? I've heard it works wonders.
Only if you dip it into manta drool first. The liquid dresses the wounds, but if you don't put anything on it, it just acts as a dirt barrier.
Ah, I see. Thanks for the advice.
Ah, now you look like a promising client. If you have serum, you have promise, and I have all sorts of artifacts and merchandise from all sorts of corporations.
Potential disruptions to the bloodbath they have prepared. I know of another way in, though. Follow me.
Some people just want to revel in violence. They don't care who gets thrown into carnage as long as they get their fill. Your brothers will pay for this, Phobos. We'll stop them.
I know.
Look what we have here. The fool who believed he was a more worthy chief than me. It is now my way or no way. Follow me, or follow death.
Will you never change, Cain? Is your only path the one stained with blood, paved with hate? The same hate destroying your own people? Look around. This valley was once filled with peace, but is now filled with gravestones. You cannot continue to lead our people down this road.
You have gone too far, Cain. Fight someone your own size.
Look what we...
Do not kill him. Even if his heart pumps with pure hatred, spilling it makes us no better than he. It ensures more blood will follow. Please, be better than he is.
Scum. If I were as good as you, I would not be me. And that is all I can be. One cannot continue to trim a weed that will not stop growing and spreading its seeds. One must rip it out by the roots. He will start wars among us or between us. He cannot live another breath.
Someone needs to step up and lead the mutants, Phobos. And honestly, you make a great chief. Especially since they'd need someone to lead them in whatever battles lie ahead for them.
It is not a role I wish to fill.
Yeah, but there's no better leader than the one who isn't seeking power. Your people need you now.
Scum would be...
Zachariah, you are living proof that our people can live in harmony. You have helped us enormously, but now I believe it is time to make a decision.
We must present a chief to the Assembly.
The time for speaking, I am afraid, is dwindling. If our internal quarrels give rise to conflict within our own, we need someone to unite us. We must walk as one race, place differences aside.
Then it should be you. There is no mutant who lacks respect for you. And unlike Cain, your leadership will not spill blood.
As a strategist, though, you are greatly respected as well. Perhaps it is you who should run.
I know it may not be my place to give an opinion, but I think that it makes sense for you to be chief, Scum. You inspire them, and that's what they need.
Perhaps you are correct, Zachariah. Though the fear of needing to be not just a chief, but a strategist that must lead a charge to free our brothers, I do not know. But we shall see what my people have to say.
Then you will not rule alone. If my people can use me as well, then I will stay here with you.
This news lifts my heart and eases my burden.
I am sorry, Zachariah. You know that I will help you however I can, but in these times, I must also consider my people's cause. I must stay for them.
Can't say I'm not disappointed, but I don't blame you, Phobos. I'd do the same.
Humbly he stands before you. Once we spoke like this, remember? When we were bound in our chains. But that's behind us. And today, myself, Scum, in this valley that is ours, can finally say, I! And such freedom was bought with blood of our fallen brothers. Hear me when I speak these words. I also have the belief that our found freedom must be shared. And for that reason, let us rise, but with no violence, without freedom taken by crushing down those who, too, were once our brothers. So might we all be brothers someday, even those who once bathed in our humiliation. In my dreams, I see a planet where mutants and men live together, break bread together, bear witness as their kin play together. Let us not create adversaries with wrath, or become the cruelty once shown to us. Instead, let us show mercy, and in that mercy, let there lie our road to peace. And with the Shadow's mercy, may this dream of freedom and equality spread across the surface of our planet.
Zachariah, we must talk.
About what?
This is your safe house. The ASC cannot reach you here, correct?
That's the hope.
But consider this. Even if Victor cannot reach you here, how many times has he tried to impede you, to track you? You've already had to escape from his grasp twice. Perhaps the time has come to be less passive, to gather your allies and take the offensive for once. Word of the power he accumulates in the People's Assembly of Abundance is terrifying. I speak not of violence, but perhaps of some other way to bring him down. With all that you have done for so many, I am certain many would be more than willing to come to your aid, and even more invigorated when that aid will bring such a tyrant to his knees. You have our support, the Technomancers, and any others you can gather. And from the great heights to which he has climbed, the fall will be tremendous. He will not recover.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is time to take the offensive.
Phobos isn't necessarily wrong, but just the help brought by the Technomancers and mutants isn't going to be enough. We need people able to really influence Ophir's policy, too. Like Dandolo. He loves playing games like that. Or, you still have your contacts in the military, don't you? Maybe they'd help one of their own ex-officers who was wrongly accused.
Greetings, Zachariah.
I think it's time I answered Victor's constant attacks. I'm gonna need help, though.
That's what family is for, Zachariah. We are family, united by the mutual suffering inflicted by Victor. His time to pay for all he's done has come. We are united in that.
We're lucky that Scum and Phobos managed to stop Kane. That crazy zealot would have led us to the grave.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Someone told me about you, so I wanted to come say thanks. Your instructions helped me save my friend.
I'm just happy you got there in time. We would have helped ourselves, but feared letting humans know free mutants roam around.
Don't blame you. You see what led to all of that? By the time I got there, they tortured my friend, and the Technomancer in charge was leaving.
Found himself surrounded by the Technomancer and his soldiers, who wanted to know where they could find a man named Zachariah. You, I suppose.
What did he tell him?
Not the answer you are scared he gave. He said nothing of your location. Instead, he told this other Technomancer that he knew who he was, but it did not seem to matter. The question was asked again. This time your friend screamed back that he knew who he was, and that they must listen to him. That is when they began to beat him, and he began to scream for mercy. Mercy that would not come, even as he screamed that he could do something for them. The violence only grew. That is when we ran to warn Dandolo. What he was offering to do for them, I do not know. He never said. But it did not matter anyway. All they wanted to know was where you were. Nothing else to them mattered. The torture lasted for hours. Your friend may be not all there, but his loyalty cannot be doubted.
Thanks. And thank you for going to Dandolo.
Of course.
Scott, thanks for coming. Please have a seat. I'm just trying to understand something.
Ah, a scientific query. Let us engage.
No, not quite. I just wanted to understand what you were doing with Alan under that shadow path. A couple mutants saw you and said you told Alan that you knew what he was, and that you could do... Of course, the jackass didn't give a damn. All he wanted to know was where we were. But what the hell were you trying to do,
Do? I wasn't doing. I simply... I was doing something, but not what... There are opportunities in life. He might have become an ally, a great Technomancer. Even if you're not friends, he could... I was... a mistake.
Scott, how long have we known each other? How much do I owe you? You're like a father to me. You know that. And you could tell me anything.
Listen, you must listen and understand and see. It is only my care and concern that pushed me to... I thought Alan might help you find yourself back where you belong. I was stupid. I am sorry.
All I want to know is why you told him you knew what he was.
Perhaps you've had a hunch, or caught wind from wherever such winds come from, but I now know. Technomancy stems from mutation, and intentionally created mutation, what the settlers called gene therapy. We, of course, refrain from such potential pollution of real humans, and just the knowledge of such things, well, wouldn't settle most, make things very different. My hope, though, was that such knowledge might scare Alan into supporting your cause. You see?
And what was this ability that you were talking about?
Just whimsy. A daydream, perhaps. Trying to remind him of my skills. Medical. Scientific. I yearn to return to abundance, Zachariah. It is my mother. The idea of being discarded into a lawless city. If he remembered my worth, perhaps I thought he might help me return and bring you too.
I don't know what the hell you were thinking, Scott, but what's done is done. Let's get out of here.
I'm pleased Scum was chosen. He has already proven he can lead our people. And this speech was so...
Zach, I need to talk to you without the others around. Something personal.
No problem.
It's regarding what you found in Ophir, you know? In Scott's lab, my father's mail. I've thought about it, and I figured that we should try to find the kid. Scott's son.
Don't you think Scott tried everything to find his son? Besides, he risks reliving something he may not want to experience again.
That boy is connected to my father's disappearance, right? That's what that woman said. And look, the mutants have an almost normal life here. Scott didn't know that the city existed before. We could set up something new. What do you think? If we find out what happened to his son, we could not just bring him back here, but also find out what my dad went to do for Scott. I'm almost convinced that he was trying to bring him back his son.
All right, I'll look into it. Someone must know where to find the information regarding the new mutants.
Thank you! But I don't think Scott should know about all this for now. If something happened to his kid... Anyway, you know?
Zach, I can't stop thinking about everything we heard from that dirtbag. Keep hoping it's all just a terrible lie, but... if you wanted... There's something that doesn't make sense in this story. I can't come to terms with the idea that he told us the truth, but I'm also struggling to understand why he would have deported our little clique to martyrdom. We were nothing to him. I was told Gloria came to Noctis not long ago. I need to see her again, to confront her about this story, hear what she has to tell me. I could go alone, but it'd mean a lot to me if you came along.
I'm gonna come with you. I also want to find out what this is all about.
Thank you, Zach. That means a lot to me. You still chasing after me?